So if you're like me, it's going to maybe take you a couple of tries to get your video the way you want it to show, but this is going to be my demo. So I do have a pickup that I'm going to use. Obviously your vehicles are going to be different. So first thing is we want to get under the hood, and you're going to need to figure out where is the hood release. This happens to be the hood release in this vehicle, this pickup. You would pull, you may end up releasing the brake, so be careful if you pull the wrong lever. So the idea behind this is to have you do some under hood checks and kind of locate where things are, especially some of you are going to be more experienced than others. And so some of this will be brand new, so I will try to approach it from the standpoint of not having any knowledge and hopefully not offend anybody. So first thing is the hood has been released. There's two positions on a hood. There's the closed position, and then there's a safety catch. So at the hood, if something happens and it does get released from its fully closed position, it doesn't raise up as you're going down the freeway and blow up over the top of the engine and blind you so you can't see where you're going and cause an accident. So there's always a second catch, and that's the trick, is to try to figure out where is the lever to release that. And this happens to be clear down underneath. This looks like a grill. It is a grill, but it's attached to the hood. Not all cars are that way. Some will have the hood or the grill, separate from the hood. So this is easy to tell. The grill's going to be in position, and the hood's going to come down and close on top of it. So in this case, you just have to, all else fails, locate that owner's manual and take a look and see what they're telling you. Sometimes you can look in through the grill and see that arm inside, but this case, it's clear down here at the bottom, and you have to open up the hood just enough to slide your hand in, and I can feel the lever with my fingers, and it slides to the right and releases. So here's what the release looks like. So this cable runs all the way up, and there's the safety catch. So normally it's in here close. This would have a extension on it, and you can just move the lever that way, but this has to be a remote handle down here because of the location. Anyway, got past that, so now we're into the engine compartment. So a few fluids that we want to check. This type of year, window washer fluid is a good thing to not forget about. And these do not have any kind of a dipstick, and sometimes there can be very difficult to see. So this, you can just look down in the top on this situation and see down into there and realize that this looks good. It's only about 4 inches down, bottom of the neck. You can see the liquid, so we're good there. Battery, this looks very good. There's really nothing to check on this. We won't do anything with this. Take the caps off and check. That would be more of a mechanical service or maintenance, or if they're having trouble with their battery not staying charged, we would check the electrolyte. So we just look for corrosion. This is something that I would encourage you to do. Check the connections there, that's the negative, and check the positive, and these look great. There's no corrosion at all. Sometimes they look like they are growing fuzz and white buildup of just corrosion that forms around them. And what that is trouble headed your way. At some point in time, that corrosion is going to stop the car from starting. Will not allow it to crank. Okay, radiator's up in front, but we have to go to the overflow reservoir. Radiator sits down underneath here, and if we follow it, we will find the overflow tank. And this could likely be pressurized and extremely hot. So if your car's not ran and it's cold to the touch, you should be fine. So the cap, you can take it off and look inside. However, most of these will have a level indicator on it, and they have kind of a plastic to where you can semi see through it. You can see the level of the coolant, and the level says here cold fill range. So if it's between these two marks, we're awesome, and it is. So that's perfect. That looks great. Brake fluid. Make sure we have hydraulic brake fluid in the, this is called the master cylinder. And again, they've went to plastic. Now, old cars, if you have an older car, it could be a cast iron master cylinder and a cap that you cannot see inside of, and you therefore have to take the lid off. Now, even this one has a plastic reservoir, so you are able to see through the side. You do potentially could run into where you need to pull the caps off to look down inside, and generally they just twist and take off. Now, brake fluid is extremely, it's like a very, very strong solvent, and it will take the paint off the vehicle. Do not spill it. Be careful how you handle brake fluid. If you do happen to get some, say you needed to add it, and you were a little messy and spilt some, dilute it with water, warm soapy water, and dilute it, and that will help break it down, wash it away. And it takes time for it to do the damage to the paint, so it's not like it's instantaneous, like some sort of a super acid. But be careful with it. A lot of times the cap will tell you what type of fluid should be used in this vehicle, .3, .4, .5, depending on the manufacturer, so that you'll have to check. So on brake fluid, there should be there's a minimum clear down here, and here's the maximum up at the top. You don't want it completely full. That's not what you're looking for. We want the ability for that fluid to expand as it heats up from the braking action of the vehicle, and it will expand. So the fluid can actually move back and forth from the brake lines back into this reservoir. So we do want a little cushion there. So coolant liquid wise, one thing I haven't done is the oil. And this yellow, the newer cars are marked in yellow. That little loop right there is the dipstick. And it should just pull straight up. It's a little resistant, but it'll pull straight up and out. Take a rag of some kind, paper towel would be okay, and pull the dipstick out, wipe it off. Wipe the oil off. With the engine shut off, put the dipstick back in, pull it out, check it and see where it is. And I'm gonna do that. I can't stop this because I've gotta go real time here. I don't wanna edit this. I just wanna put it on YouTube for you guys to see. So here's the dipstick. And you see there's two holes, and look at that. This has been sitting for quite some time, 3 or 4 hours. You can see that the oil is between those two marks. There's the pattern. The crosshatch pattern is the operational range. If your vehicle has been running within the last few minutes, then I would wipe the dipstick off. Put it back in the engine, push it all the way in so it seats. Bring it back out, and right where we were. That's perfect, right at the top of the operating range. If your oil is anywhere in that operating range of the crosshatch pattern or between the two holes, you're good. It's all right. You don't have to add any more. It does not have to be completely to the top to have enough oil to operate. So that's most of the checks for this assignment. Just for future reference, if you have to add oil to put oil into the engine, they add it right over on this valve cover. And this actually tells us we want SAE 5W20. That's what they recommend to put in this engine. So you do want to find out what oil is recommended for. Every engine could be different, so you don't want to go, well, Grandpa used this in his and Dad used it in his, so I'm going to use it in mine too. That may not apply here. And the last thing that I wanted to mention was this hood has cylinders on it to hold it up, like little miniature spring-loaded shock absorbers, struts they call them. And for most hoods, this will apply. When you get down to about a foot, just let the hood go and it will close. You do not need to slam them. You don't need to drop it down gently and then try to shove on it. Give it about 12 inches of momentum and usually they'll close without slamming and damaging the hood. So, all right, looking forward to you guys'